Yeah. Man, ready to talk, yeah? All right, let's get into this. So we got a special episode today. Obviously, I'm here with the boy Abs as per usual.
Let's go.
And today we've got ex-GB sprinter and now performance coach, Mark Findlay. Welcome to the show, bro.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm just like, how are you, man? You good?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah?
Can't really grumble, man.
Yeah. So obviously we're here Easter weekend and that. Big up everyone that's celebrating, had their Good Fridays and that. Abs, how are you?
I'm
good?
alright, man. I'm all good. Yeah. Can't complain. Got Mark here.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a good one, man. People are gonna be surprised.
Nah, definitely.
And your birthday last week as well.
Yeah, boy.
How was that?
Quiet.
Yeah. Chilled. There's nothing.
Yeah, chilled. Yeah,
You
2 days before, I didn't even realise. Like, hold on a minute, it's my birthday Saturday. It's one of them ones. It's all Groundhog Day-ish, isn't
your
it?
second birthday in
lockdown. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
my
Lord.
Absolutely bonkers, bro.
Yeah,
Was it any different to the first one or nah? Nothing.
Bruv, the first one, so I remember we went to me and my missus went Wagamama's.
Okay.
And it was just before they locked it down.
Okay.
Imagine Friday night in Wagamama's, we're the only people in there because all the scaremongering started. No one wanted to leave.
Right.
At 7 o'clock in Wagamama's, me and my missus.
That's it.
Then the next day, lockdown.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's mad.
That's mad.
Mad, bro.
That's
and then
bonkers.
obviously still locked down.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Had a glass of champs, piece of velvet cake. That was me, bro. Done.
Come on.
Lovely.
So let's just touch a little bit on COVID. Obviously, we like to speak on it with our guests and stuff, like how stuff changed. Obviously, you kind of work in the performance and training industry, which has obviously been impacted by COVID. So how's it affected things for you? Has it been positive? Has it been negative? Have you had to adapt?
I mean,
in any way?
yeah, definitely adapt. It's there's no two ways about it. Obviously, quite a bit of my stuff could be not quite a bit of a portion of my training is gym orientated. So not having a gym was hard. But obviously, in the first lockdown, we had some of the best weather we've ever had.
Oh yeah.
So it was a matter of my clients coming to my park, which is literally 5 minutes from my house, and I just took everything outside. So I took equipment from the gym, which they allowed, thank God. Yeah. So I had dumbbells, kettlebells, battle ropes, med balls, sleds,
Oh my.
pulleys.
So you took everything?
Yeah, I took everything.
Yeah, nice.
Loaded up my car. My car was like, took everything and literally just spent the whole day at the park. So I'd probably start at like 9, take all the equipment there and work till like 3, 4, done. That's my day.
Wow.
So did you see an increase in people, like asking for your services? Because I know for me, and everyone probably can vouch for this, everyone was kind of doing this fitness thing at the beginning, doing the 5Ks, everyone was posting their 5Ks on the stories. Do you remember that?
That lasted a little while, everybody.
So were people more interested in kind of what you're doing, trying to get some training, or?
Yeah, do you know what it was? It was because I deal with a lot of elite sport. It was like, those guys need to train. So they were hitting me from immediately. Right. Obviously, you had the first initial couple of weeks, which was quiet. Everybody was a bit...
Don't know what to do.
Don't know what to do, whether they should step out. They're going to get in trouble, this. And then once everybody got tired of being in prison, people were hitting me up, bro, I need to train, bro. I said, all right, well, this is where I'm based. Come see me. And the weather was beautiful, shorts, T-shirt, man training bare top. We just got it cracking. So I never really stopped, which was... What I did like about it is, obviously, when the gyms are open, I could be working from 6 in the morning till 8 at night. But what was good about this, and which made me even look at the way I work, is start, even if I started at 7, by 3, 4, done.
You should be able to finish. Yeah.
I'm going home. I'm playing with my kids. I'm chilling, and I thought, I like this.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna, even when COVID finishes and get back to some kind of normality, I think I'm gonna continue kind of working like this.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I know what he's like. He's a workaholic.
Okay.
Mark won't say no to anything. When
it
it comes to work, he won't say no. It could be 6 a.m, 5 a.m. He'll say, "Give me 2 minutes. Let me just think about it," or "Let me just find out what." And then he'll be like,
And you're not the first person to say that.
He'll say that now. Oh yeah, I'll start at 8, finish at 4.
He's not doing
It's not happening because it will get, and especially when the sun's out.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Maybe a couple days a week I do a couple lates, but Not every day.
We'll see. We'll see.
So a question I was going to ask as well, just touching on the COVID thing, is do you see yourself as like, as a coach, a performance coach, do you see yourself as a little bit of a therapist as well? Because training for me especially, like that's therapy for me. Getting in the gym, getting in the workout, getting in the run, get the good endorphins, you feel good. You kind of just separate yourself from whatever's going on in life. So do you see yourself as that?
It's 100%. And also it's like, it's not just the training side of it. Like, especially with a lot of the footballers, I'll talk to them about how they need to approach their training, how they need to approach their life. I'm very much about performance. It's not just you go and do your training at football, you come and see me, no, it's like, if you're going to do this, live the life, bro. Like, what's your nutrition like? What's your sleep like? What's your recovery like? Things like that. Well, this is why it comes under the banner of performance. It's not just come and train and then, all right, see you later, bye. I try and school these lot on how to approach to become the better athlete. Because nowadays, especially football, it's athletes that are playing football. So let's work on your athletic development, not just the physical, but lifestyle.
And I imagine that probably fosters quite a tight relationship between the people that you
train. 100. Well. Like there's a lot of clients I've been training for 5, 6, 7 years plus, and they're still working with me. And it becomes a friendship.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
I've made brothers from this.
No, 100%. So let's take it back a little bit. So like, where did you grow up? Let's talk about maybe 8-year-old Mark. Paint that picture for me. Wherever you live.
8-year-old Mark.
It was the same height. 8-year-old Mark.
I was actually small. I was small.
No way.
No, I was small. Even up to year 7, I remember going to school the first day of secondary school, and I'm in my class. I'm looking. I'm one of the shortest here. Girls were taller than me, bro. There's 2 girls I fell in love with, and they were both bigger than me.
I'm looking at
like, wow. But 8. I grew up in Leyton.
Okay. Yeah. So
just down the road. And probably at the age of 10, moved a stone throw away and grew up in Leyton.
Okay.
Right up into my 20s. Ducked out, went to train in Birmingham for a few years. So, but up until then, I'm a kind of Leyton stone boy.
Okay, so what were your interests like young? Were you into? Because obviously you got into sprinting. Were you into football? Just sport.
Could you play all different sports?
Secondary school. That's what I was not. Like you see them American movies. You got the jock.
Yeah.
I was the jock. I wasn't a bastard like them, but I was the jock. So captain of the football team, captain of the volleyball team, captain of the basketball team, captain of the track team from year 7 to 11.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like,
what about like district and stuff like that?
Yeah, I played district. I done obviously district track, played district football, played district basketball.
So you was...
How did you have time for all of this? Your parents must have thought this guy like...
Well, like to be honest, like old man weren't really about. So it was my mum looking after them. She knew I was into sport, and she just...
As long as you're doing sports,
as long as you're doing sports, I'm good. Like she knew where I was. If even summer holidays, I'm in the park, I'm kicking ball. Do you know what I mean? And school were good with me. Like obviously getting taken there. You had parents take you here, take you there.
Of course.
But I was busy. Sport was everything for me, man.
So when you're going through secondary school and you're doing all these sports, are you thinking there's an end goal? So like for me, when I played football when I was a kid, I was at an academy. I'm in secondary school. I want to be a footballer. Yeah. But you're playing all these different sports and you're elite in every sport. Are you thinking after I finish school, there's a route here, or are you just doing it because that's what you're good at? There was no thought process.
It was always a throw, football and track.
Okay.
But even up until kind of like year 10, I was still playing everything, and then I began to feel a little bit burnt out, and I said, you know what, I got to drop something. So then I went track and football.
Okay.
And just literally that year 10, year 11 was just those 2 sports. Really.
Okay.
I'd still played other sports, but only like for school.
Right,
so I'd play basketball for the school team, or I'd play volleyball for the school team. But nothing, my main 2 things were track and football.
But there was no one in your ear saying like, if you push through with this, there could be a journey or anything like that.
See that story there? That story is mad. So, at probably year 11. So summer holidays I played for Millwall.
Okay.
So I was playing football at Millwall. They liked me there. They asked me to come back. I was training up in Eltham. So I was taking that long train ride. That's the first time I really got introduced into jumping on trains and going all the way here. Traveling.
Yeah.
So I spent a bit of time up there. But then the whole like Stephen Lawrence thing, and then my mum was like, you ain't going up there. You're not going up there. Forget about that. So then I went QPR.
Okay.
And I was in the same year as Nigel Quasi.
Okay,
He was a captain.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I went on their trial, played a few trial games.
He come West Ham.
He was at West Ham.
Yeah, he was at West Ham. I remember him. Yeah.
I was played a few trial games there, and was doing all right. But at the same time, I was running track. So that same year, I got my first international in track.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. While I'm trialing at QPR.
Oh, wow.
So then...
what position are you playing?
They was playing me right wing or number 9.
Okay.
So just speed, innit?
Yeah. And what events were you doing?
Sprints. Straight.
Just all the sprints?
All sprints. So I was like 100, 200. I'd done a bit of long jump, but mainly just the 1 and 2.
1 and 2, okay.
So on the football pitch, it was...
So you were saying like when you first went to secondary school, you were small. Yeah. Are you still small at 16?
Nah, year 10, I just went...
Okay. Just
year 10, I got the size I am now.
No way.
Yeah. I grew. Obviously not as wide.
Yeah, not as wide, but you
shot up, mate. Wow. Like completely. So it was completely different.
So you see like the growth spurt that you had, did that affect you in any way?
Yeah, man. Motor skills went out the window.
No way.
Oscars on both knees, quite bad. But at that age, no one really, I wasn't like deep in an academy where I knew.
So it wasn't.
I didn't know, I just muddled through, innit?
Yeah, it's a bit of pain,
but
just keep going.
Put two tuber grip over it. I crack on, bro. You get me? I was having bare problems, groins, knees, ankle.
Yeah.
I was running races like half limping, but I just thought, carry on. At some point, it's got to stop, innit?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, and then so that same year, training at QPR, obviously getting international in track. Yeah. So I got picked for the European Youth Olympics for the 100 and 4x1.
So how does that come about at that
So
time?
I was running for a club.
Okay, so you're running for a club.
From Stowe AC. Okay. And then I moved to Blackheath Harriers.
Okay. So are they like the most known in the area? Are they the most powerful? Is that how like...
Blackheath Harriers is probably the most powerful youth track club.
So you'd want to be part of them, and if you're doing well for them, you've got a chance of becoming something or getting noticed.
Definitely, because they have like what they call the Young Athletes League, which is it's like a nationwide track competition. So you're gonna go and meets in Telford, Nottingham, they're all over the place.
Okay. So you was in the right place.
I was in the right place with the right team, racing against the right competition. Okay. And then obviously you get invited to certain meets, you go and run nationals, those kind of things. And I think at a national champs, I think I placed in the top 3, and from there got an international. Okay. But that's what kind of threw my head from football and track, because my pops is not around. If my dad was around, he would have been like, "You're playing football."
Yeah.
Simple as that.
You wouldn't have got to that stage.
Like if I wasn't if I was not good enough to play, go to QPR or be at a Mill and things like that, then it wouldn't have mattered. But the fact that I was there, if my pops was around, he would have said to me, "You know what, boy, you play around with your track team, but you're gonna kick ball." Yeah. But I've got thrown because in that first year, I got another international. I went to Spain. I went to Italy.
Oh, wow. All in a year?
All in a year. I went to France. I went to Australia.
And how old are you now at this age?
16.
16. So in school or just finished school?
Just finished school.
Okay.
And there's girls in the team, bro. And I'm traveling the world. Like,
Think about you're 16 now.
Bro, you don't travel. You're 16 and all of a sudden
no one from the ends is traveling.
Everything's paid for. Yeah. Hotels, accommodation, tracksuited up, GB. Yeah. Like people, you go in foreign countries, people are asking for your autograph because you're in a GB tracksuit. Yeah. I'm 16, bro.
That's crazy.
And it's not just girls on the GB team, it's girls from the Hungary team, Australian team, this team, that team. Yeah, football's wrong.
Football's
I'm not caring. Cold night in Southampton, and I'm not caring. No. And I chose track. Yeah. And that was it. That's how I chose.
So you basically just stopped going to QPR then at that point.
Yeah. This is not for me. I like track.
Yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be.
But I don't regret it because I had great experiences. But there's a part of me that would have liked to know how far I could have gone in football.
You could have gone, yeah, of course. But then you would have had the same thought if you went down the football route and gone, like, you know, how far could I have gone?
Nah, do you know what? I think the money would have changed that.
Right, that's good honesty.
I'll be honest.
That's the only difference, to be fair.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. When like you see, obviously Kwasi went on to do well.
Yeah.
You see, there's a couple other boys in the team that ended up playing, and you're like Kwasi was quality.
Yeah, he was good.
Oh my god,
he was good.
He was mad. But there was other players. I can't even remember some of their names, but I do remember seeing them later on. I remember that. I was at QPR that year, and they're playing. They're having a career. It might not be Prem, but they're
still got a football career.
They're having a football career, and part of me made me feel, you know what, I could have done something.
Yeah,
but I chose track, and that was my thing, man.
So, just to take it back just a little bit. So, when do you realise that you're fast? Are you just always?
I was fast from primary school.
From primary school,
you know, like the sports days and all that. I was never losing, bro. Like in nothing.
Just gone.
See you later.
So then, how do you end up sort of going into a club and stuff? Is it from school? They then diverted you to go to a club?
Do you know what it was? It's, I think it was a teacher of mine at school. Said to me, "Why don't you go down the local track where we used to actually train and do boroughs champs and all that?" I went down there. Somebody told me to go down there one night, and I just went up to a random coach and said, "Look, I want to do a bit of training." So then end up training twice a week.
Okay.
And just it kind of went from there. Joined the club, started running competitions, just fell in love with it.
So you see, at the age of like 16, turning 17, and you're running for your country, does anything change within like the way your mentality changes, like your diet, your training? Does anything change, or does that change before that anyway?
Nah, I think once you kind of got the international, then you kind of realise the seriousness of.
So would you say before then you was just normal? So you're
only guy 3 times a week.
So he's going 3 times a week, eating just normal, whatever, literally running,
yeah.
Knowing that. So obviously, I'm guessing before you go to this race to get picked to go for your country, do you know that this is the race?
Yeah.
So you know, like this is
national champ.
This is national champ. I need to do my thing.
Yeah.
But knowing that you're not that you're not prepped, but you're just
there's no prep, bro. It's like, just literally we trained on Thursday.
Yeah.
Had Friday off, travel up and go and run. That was it. That was the mentality. There was no.
So my question is, do you think now, if you was now 16, you'd have the same prep as that?
No.
What would your prep be now?
No, in terms of food, in terms of rest, in terms of
everything
not ramping around with the man them like the night before, the 2 days before, no, everything would change.
Everything would have changed. Okay.
But it was at that age, it was just...
No, yeah, of course.
Now it's different. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Now, a 16-year-old...
A 16-year-old that are not doing
no
what
way,
we was
they're
doing.
doing nothing. Yeah.
They're preparing a little bit better than what we was.
So once you finish school in year 11, is there like somewhere that you have to go when you're part of Team GB that allows you to sort of train and have school, or you still part of your school?
Not at that age. No, you're still part of your school, still part of your training group, train with your coach, do your same cool school stuff, but it's the competitions. So when you go to the competitions, if you're doing well at the competitions, or you go nationals or South of England's and you're placing, that's when you start to get national recognition, and they'll contact you.
Right. Okay.
Like, especially if you go nationals for a competition, and it might be first 3 get picked to go to the Europeans, or
mad.
And that's what it is.
So what about 18 now? Obviously, you've left sixth form. So do you go to union and you're still competing for GB, or is it full-time athlete?
So 18, 19, I went full-time.
Okay.
I thought, track's what I want to do. This is me. I think I signed the first little contract with Adidas.
Okay.
And that was it. I just trained full-time.
So how does it work? So as a full-time athlete, so you said you signed with Adidas. So obviously in football, for example, you sign with a club.
Yeah.
So you don't sign with a club in...
No, you're part of a club, but the club are not paying you.
Yeah.
Because
so the sponsor pays you.
It's a sponsor. And then at the time as well, we was getting... That's when the whole lottery funding come in.
Okay.
So lottery was funding certain athletes as well. So I was getting a bit of lottery funding, a little bit from Adidas, and that was me.
Okay.
That was enough for me to survive and do what I love.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So is there any obligation when you're signed to Adidas, for example? Obviously you have to wear their shoes, but is there any other, like, do you have to do like photo shoot campaigns? Do you have to do anything?
Nah, the kind of contract I was on, like, it was literally tiny bit of money and holy kit.
Okay.
I wasn't really of the standard, like the the fastest man in the country. I had to do bare photo shoot. There was a lot of athletes at the time that were getting little kit deals. I was just one of them. So it was literally just wear the kit. Right, okay. Can't wear nothing else. And that was it, really.
So what is the day in the life of a full-time athlete?
So early morning training. So a typical day would be where you get to the track for maybe 8:30, warm up. And that's the difference between what I found with football and track. Our warm-ups are like 1 hour, bro. Just a warm-up. Huh?
What?
I would hate that. I hate
for a 20-second race.
No, for the session.
No.
For a competition, you warm up 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
To go and race, but even like training, our warm up is like 45 minutes to an hour. Then we start the session.
So how long is the session?
The session could be 20 minutes, but it's 20 minutes of
going hard
pain. And then you have a little break, and then you jump in the gym. So a typical day is like 4 or 5 hours.
Wow. So talk us about this warm up.
Oh, it's so long. When I look back at it now, it's so
done.
long.
After that warm up, I'm going. I'm cooling down in the next 20 minutes.
The warm up's like a session. So for instance, you do a 4-lap warm up jog of the track. Yeah. It's like a mile warm up, easy jog. And you go back inside. You'll do like dynamic stretches, a little bit of rolling, hurdle mobility. Then you'll go into sprint drills. Then you'll do some strides. So your strides might be over like 30 meters, and you'll go 80% first one, 85%, 90%, 95% in your last one. Then you'll have something else to do before the session. Then you go and run the session, which it could be.
When you're doing all this stuff, because it's your warm up, is your coach going through this with you, or he's just like, right, boys, go and warm up?
Initially, he's introducing us to the warm up. So every warm up on certain days are different. Okay. So he's showing us the warm up, but after you've been doing it for a few months, the warm up. So you literally headphones on, everyone cracks.
And how many of you are training to? Is there like a group of you?
It's a big like a group. So I think at that time, your group would probably be, it could be anyone from 8 to 16 people in your training group.
How does it work if let's say there's 10 of you training together? Are you lot competing against each other for different races for the same thing? Because it's like, obviously you're all individuals training.
So you might have some of your group are internationals on contract, some of your group are not, some of your group obviously you got females in your group as well. So everybody's different, but
are you all competing for the same same race?
You'd compete for nationals.
Okay.
We're competing with an eye on going to nationals, and the best of us trying to make the team, and the guys that are not quite at that level, if you go there and run a personal best, that's a great achievement for your season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a great achievement for your season.
Okay.
So are you training with all England athletes at the moment, or this is just with your club, your local club?
So how it goes is like, I moved to Newham and Essex Beagles, but you don't have to train at that club. You don't have to train with their coaches. You just literally compete for them. So I train at Lee Valley Athletic Centre, but I run for Newham. Right. So it's literally, Newham may have 8 competitions in a season. They tell me, okay, we're at Manchester this weekend. The coaches, you go, you compete, you come back, go back to your training squad, and you train. So literally, you only compete for the team. You don't have to be where they're based.
Yeah. Why is that? Like, why
just how it is.
Just how it's set up.
Just how it is. Some clubs are a lot of the athletes that run for that club will train at that home track.
Right. Okay.
But you don't have to.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's mad.
So you might not like the coach. Let's say.
Nah. So I'll go and source my own coach.
Right. Got it.
But I still run for the club.
And they're fine. Obviously, that's normal to them. But how? So the coach that you go and train with, how's he getting paid? Are you paying him? Is he funded, or how does that work? Because if you're part of a club, I'm guessing it's part of the
initially.
Yeah.
It's mad when you look back at it now. All these coaches were doing it for the love of it.
No way.
Back in the day, it was doing it for the love of it. Now it's different. So now you'll find like coaches will charge coaching fees per athlete.
Yeah.
So, for instance, a coach might have 20 athletes in their group, and each paying them £300 a month.
Yeah.
That's how they make the money.
Oh,
Back then, it was just like
the guy was just doing
turn up on a Tuesday, Thursday, loves athletics,
and just train. Oh
sick.
My,
that's so sick.
That's bonkers.
That's so sick.
That is mad.
Different.
That's amazing.
But now, like I said, you got athletes are paying the coaches. Some shoe companies are paying the coaches as well to train certain athletes. So more money in it. For
talking about
now.
the coaching aspect, like back in the day, were the coaches ex-professionals that ran, or were they like? So like, see how we have like grassroots football, and it's mainly dads just coaching.
Yeah,
the people that loved it, were they like people that just loved the sport but had no experience in it?
In the beginning, it was just people that kind of loved the sport.
Okay, so they didn't actually run or nothing like that.
No, but then moving into when athletes started to get coached a little bit, that's when you find a lot of ex-athletes started coaching.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, of course.
So let's go back to obviously you're 18, 19. So at that time, are you working towards trying to make the Olympics, or like what's the vision in the immediate term?
Just trying to make a senior champs, whether it be European champs, world champs, Olympic games. That was the goal. That was for any athlete training full time at the time. That's your goal. Obviously, you got age group champs as well. So I went to European junior champs. I went to 2 of those. I went to world junior champs. I went to European under 23 champs. So I think it would have been 95, a long time ago, 1995. Went to European juniors in Hungary.
Wow.
So it would have been, I think the team was myself, Dwayne Chambers ran the 100, a guy named Christian Malcolm, who's now head coach at British Athletics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was running as well. I just went for the 4x1, so we won the 4x1.
Sick.
Got a gold in that. The following year, went to World Juniors, part of the relay squad again in Australia. That was a sick trip.
So you see, like, when you're going to these trips, so it's like when England or English teams go and play in the Champions League, for instance, you watch how, like, you play against Bayern and you're like, rah, these men are efficient, they do this. Do you pick up anything when you're competing against these other athletes? Are you going, rah, like, they do this differently? Or do you watch, like, their warm-ups? Are they doing anything different?
When you go to these international competitions, like, and you see some of the warm-ups these guys are doing, some you're like, yeah, that looks cold. And some you're like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
it's mad.
Yeah.
You see so much.
But do you pick up stuff from them and think,
100%.
I'm taking that, I'm going to use that?
Yeah, you got to be a student of your sport.
Yeah, of course.
Like, understand, you can't just think my way is the way. You might see, especially if you've seen somebody who's cold, and you look at how they've approached their warm-up or how they've attacked their race, and think, you will pick up things and think, I like that, I'm going to try that. Do you know what I mean?
So what was the pinnacle for you in terms of your track career? What was your proudest moment or greatest moment?
I think all my junior career, so winning a bronze the European juniors in, where was that now? Slovenia. I got a bronze in the 200.
Oh, sick.
And then European under 23s 99. Winning a gold in the 4x1, breaking the European record. That is good to be a part of that.
Sick. Wow.
And then as a senior, getting my first senior international, competing at the World Indoors in Moscow, Russia.
How old was you then?
Mid-20s then.
Okay.
Yeah, mid-20s then. That's
mad.
That was an experience. Yeah, that was probably the one of the best achievements is getting a senior international going to a world global championship. Obviously, I've had a better personal accomplishments. What's the word? Accomplishments. Yeah. So like winning going to the national champs and winning a silver 60 meters against some of the best in the country.
That's bad.
Things like that. So I had
you had a good time. Yeah. So as a footballer, more people would like to say around the age of what, 33, 30, you're getting on now, you start to think about different things. Is it the same for an athlete? Is it that age, or is it younger? Is it older, or how does it work for an athlete?
Funny you should say 33. 33 was the age I ran my fastest ever times.
What?
Really?
No way.
Over the 1 and the 2.
Flipping now.
So I ran personal best at 33.
Is it?
Oh.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
I think it's just a lot to do with mental, approaching things different, kind of knowing what's at stake.
Yeah.
Living things right, like, you know, really taking, you know, getting the right amount of sleep, your nutrition, really going ham with those kind of things. And I just think, like, you know, it's funny because I think later on in track, people really start to develop their man strength, their man body.
Power.
Like they say from kind of 26 onto 30, you're
in your prime,
prime.
So obviously for you, it's 33 that you was running your best. Is that the same for like most athletes, or just
it's all different?
But it's
all different.
So like, there's no age, not an age in particular, but like in football, it's just a known thing. Once you hit that 31, 34, that around that age, you're kind of coming to the end of it.
Yeah, it's different in track. I mean, nowadays you don't really see too many track athletes, especially sprinters in their 30s, dominating. But if you look back in the day, Linford Christie won the world champs, won the Olympics at 32, won the world champs at 33.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's different. It's just how your body
fast till he was like 36.
That's mad.
But now it's different. You look at Bolt. Bolt was winning the Olympics at 21.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's different.
So when do you start to wind it down for you? When do you decide, like...
It's funny, the year after I ran my best times.
Yeah.
So went back into winter training now, and with my same.
When you say winter training, I'm guessing there's summer training as well.
Yeah, so winter training stems from.
What's the difference?
That's when all the hard, sloggy, horrible work gets
winter
done.
Training.
Winter training, which can go from kind of October. You train, and that's a fucked up thing about track. We train from October all the way through till kind of like April. If you're not going to do an indoor season might start in January for a couple months, January to March, but not all athletes do indoors.
Okay.
So if you don't do indoors, you're going to train all the way from October to April with no competition, just training.
Why would you not want to compete though?
I always like to do indoors because I found it broke up.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. No, like as you just
broke up that long slog of training to get some competition in. But indoors isn't for everyone. Not everybody likes.
Why though? What's the difference? Like what's
like a 200s run on an indoor 200 and the bank on the curve like that. And some people for the 60 meters is just some people's too short for them.
Oh, is it?
Like 60, you don't get out. Boom, the race is done, bro.
Okay.
But I always used to like the 60.
Oh, fair enough. So you use it to your advantage.
I use it to be fair, I used it because that long winter training, I needed to break that shit up.
Yeah.
So
that's a slog.
Go indoors, it means, you're going to run indoors. All right, we're going to start doing some shorter, more explosive work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if I'm not going indoors, I'm going to continue doing this long, hard, sloggy, lactic acid kind of training. It's long, bro. It's so long.
Yeah.
So, I always done indoors.
So the year after you hit your best, your personal best.
Tried to gone back into winter training now, and the program's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
In terms of the training, few tweaks, but the training's pretty much the same. So it must have been maybe 2 months into training. I'm realizing, hold on a minute, I'm not really recovering from the sessions the same way I was recovering last year. Like body's aching a little bit more. Like I'm getting tweaks and niggles. It's the same program that I done last season.
Yeah.
I'm taking the same precautions in terms of nutrition, in terms of looking after my body, in terms of recovery. And I just weren't recovering. And I spoke to my coach about this. We had a bit of a heated battle about this. I said, Coach, like these, obviously I think at this time we had about 20 people in the group. Some of them like young kids. So I'm one of the elder statesmen of the group. And I was saying to him, like, you need to look at my training a little different now. Maybe adjust my training a little bit. Maybe on one of the days that everybody's training, I do more of an active recovery just to give myself a little bit more recovery.
Of course, yeah.
Because I'm not recovering how I used to. This motherfucker's stubborn as hell. It's like, nah. All right. So, and I initially knew, with a coach, you have a relationship. You have to trust the process.
Yeah.
So even though I know I'm not recovering, I'm still a warrior. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna warrior through these sessions. I don't recover.
I'll just keep going.
I'll just keep banging out the session. And then remember one session was doing like 150s. Was doing like 1,250 meter runs, and I think it must have been like run number 8. I felt my calf. I was like, oh, that don't feel right. But I said, coach, my calf's not feeling right. I said, okay, just do this one more run. Done the one more run. I said, yeah, I'm done. So I've gone upstairs, up in Lee Valley, up onto the indoor track, and I've gone to see one of the physios. And they're like, I was in quite a lot of pain then. I said, yeah, that doesn't feel too good. I think you need to go and get a scan. So when I got a scan and I found out I tore my soleus muscle, which is just underneath your calf, like 7 centimeters.
Oh my!
Which is quite a big
test. That's a big test.
That was me. Should have been listening to my body and telling not even really asking the coach, telling the coach, yo,
I'm resting.
This is how my program's going for now. I'll do the work, but I can't be doing the same work a 21-year-olds do.
Nah, 100%.
I'm 34 years old.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But so then that there got back from the injury. It took me 7 weeks. Got back, then we flew out to Florida for warm weather training, which is something that most athletes do every year. Kind of March, you fly out because the weather's probably still shit. So we fly out for anything from a month to 2 months to do some warm weather training. So we went to Florida, got back into shape, running really well, and then tore my hamstring one of the sessions. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I think this is me.
No way.
Like I carried on the season. I got back and raced the season, but I wasn't at my best. And it was literally that was 2011. So that was the year I started thinking about, okay, what's next?
Okay.
So I ran 212 the following season, but my brain was already in what's next.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah. How am I gonna do? So I started up my fitness company from then. Even like the year before I actually retired. But 212 was like, that was 100%, yeah, I'm done. All these young whippersnappers coming and smoking, man. I said, no,
it's a long thing.
I've had enough. I'm not giving you the satisfaction of saying that, I tore up Mark by 2 meters. Nah, I'm done.
Yeah, the man, pride comes into it.
Pride. It was pride.
Yeah, 100%.
Pride.
So what makes you think, fitness and coaching at that time, why did you think, that's definitely for me?
Do you know what it was? Even at quite a young age, I was always in the training group, somebody that was kind of, because I was so much of a student of the sport, so I wouldn't just be at training and train. I'd go home, I'd do video analysis, I'd read books. I was very much that kind of athlete. So even in the sessions, I was one of the guys that would encourage the other guys. I would be one of the guys, look, why don't you have a look at this? Or So I was one of those guys. So I always knew that when I stopped, I was kind of head down, that kind of road. But I knew I didn't want to coach track.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that was never my thing.
And we'll definitely get there, but why was that thought at that time? You just think it was boring?
Not boring, but when you've been in it so long, like, few reasons. One reason, I wanted to mash P.
Yeah.
I'm not mashing P as a track coach.
Yeah, correct.
And, I wanted to work with an array of different people. Yeah. Do you understand? Where if you're a track coach, bro, you're a track coach. You ain't got time to do
nothing else.
Nothing else. I wanted to think to myself, do you know what? Everything I've learned, especially being a sprinter, we gotta be fast. We gotta be strong. We gotta be powerful, explosive. We gotta be fit. And I spent how long learning all those things? Why can't I go and teach a footballer how to do the same? Why can't I teach a rugby player to be the same? Why can't I choose all these different sports? I got knowledge, and it's not just going uni and doing a sports science degree. I'd done this shit my whole life. Yeah. I'd done the wrong ways. I'd done the right ways. I stumbled across right ways. I can now share that with people from other sports.
So you already knew, like, if I'm going to go into this side, this is not what I want to do.
Nah, I'm not running. Like, don't get me wrong. I mentor certain athletes.
Yeah.
But was never gonna be a track coach.
So how was you gonna go about dipping into different sports when you've never been in? You've never been in the football sport. You've got to remember, all you've been involved is one sport.
One sport.
But in your mind, you're like, I need to get into these different sports. But how? And you're mainly based at Lee Valley, where you train.
Track,
and no one, football's not being played there, rugby's not being played, nothing's happening there except athletes. So how are you getting yourself?
Do you know what it is?
And on top of that as well, were you worried as well about that?
Yeah, you must have been.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. When I was quit track, it was like, I knew I wasn't going to go and work for no one.
Yeah.
So I ain't really got a pot to piss in right now.
Yeah.
Back's against the wall. I have to try and make this fucking work somewhere. Yeah. Like, so that's where the PT side come in.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, I know this is not what I want to do. I don't want the woman that's getting married who needs to fit in her wedding dress for me to train them.
Yeah.
But right now,
guess what?
I need to train anyone and rack as much peas as possible.
Because you need to live as well.
I need to live.
Yeah, you
so
need to survive.
It was like, started a website, had merchandise, so like my t-shirt, every tracksuit I ever owned, I just put my logo on it. Mm-hmm. So started up a limited company, website, all my socials, got them going, the merchandise, and literally flooded Lee Valley with my merchandise. So like people would see me, I like that. Oh, you want one? Give them. Next thing you know, you're looking around and bare people wearing your kit.
Yeah, everyone's wearing your kit.
So I've almost created a little bit of a
buzz, Because now everyone wants to know. People are curious.
Where'd you get that? I've seen that a couple of times. Like, who's that?
Where'd you get
and that's just the time where I jumped on kind of Instagram.
Okay.
So I'd start putting workouts out, like start using my brain and saying, okay, so this person, she's a GB javelin thrower. I'm going to help her. She asked me to help her do something. I just film it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Stick it up. I help so-and-so do it. So then it's not just, and then the maddest thing was, I'll tell you this story. So I'm doing a bit of my own training at Lee Valley. Mm-hmm. And there was that was the time other sports started coming down early in the morning. So you'd see boxers come and do their laps. Yeah. You see MMA dudes coming and doing bits. So there's a bunch of MMA guys running around. And I could see they didn't really know what the fuck they was doing.
Yeah,
even the running session was like,
they're not interested. Yeah.
So this is something I've never really done. I've never been a really guy to go and approach people and say, "Yo, you should come and do bits." People always come to me.
Yeah.
But this one specific time, I thought.
And this is early in your journey.
This is early in my journey.
You had to make a move.
I had to.
They weren't going to come to you.
No, they was never coming to me. Who the fuck? You don't know who I am. I'm just any guy doing a training session. Yeah. So I went up to them and I said, "Oh, you guys, you look like fighters, MMA guys." Like, yeah. I said, "I'm a performance coach, strength and conditioning coach. I think, like, if you want to ever come down, if you're going to keep coming down there, why don't you come and do some work?" And it's random. I said, I gave him one of my number and walking off and saying, I was like, "Oh, thanks, guy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much." And I'm walking away thinking, I tried, didn't
Yeah, of course. 100%.
Who knows what's going to come from this? The next day, one of them calls me.
Okay.
Said, "You available tomorrow?" And said, "Look, this is what I want to do. I need to get fitter. I need to get stronger. I want to be a bit more explosive." Cool. So we start working. And he's got a fight on, I think the Cage Warriors, I think was the organisation he was fighting for. Okay. So we done about 8 weeks of work.
Oh wow! And how many days was he training with you?
3-4 days a week.
Oh wow, he was really all in.
So in that time as well, obviously he's part of a training group as well. Yeah, a Titan fighter. I think they're based up on the A406 in Edmonton.
Yeah, I think they're still running now.
They're still there.
Yeah, they're still running. Yeah.
So obviously they're knowing what he's doing. So in between that, I'm having a few of them more coming in. So then at one time, I might have 6 man in a session, 6 MMA fighters doing bits of work with me. So predominantly it was more about him, but he would bring certain man to join in his session. They'd pay as well.
And it's better for you anyway.
It's better for me. So I was getting decent exposure in that world as well. But we trained for about 8 weeks. We went into his fight.
And was that your first real project?
That was my real first project.
By yourself?
In elite sport.
Yeah, so you knew, I got to make this happen, but
bro, I went ham.
It's a make or break.
I went ham.
It's a make or break.
Yeah, I went ham. I said, there's no way this guy is not going to be in the best shape he's ever been in his life. And he was. He got in a fucking amazing shape. Just aesthetically fit.
No way.
Strong, powerful. Went and done the fight, beat the shit out of the guy.
Sick.
Did he? Yeah.
Now this is where the story gets interesting.
Was he expected to win the fight though?
No, this guy was a French guy, good fighter.
Yeah.
It was a 50-50 fight.
Yeah,
so
anyone could have. Yeah.
So wins the fight. In the crowd, it's Colin Kazim Richards.
Yeah.
He's one of his best pals. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So obviously he's known this guy for ages, and he's gone to him, bro, the fuck? You look in mad shape.
Yeah.
Like, so he's then said, I've been working with this guy, so.
Yeah. Did you go and watch the fight? Yeah.
I was at the fight.
Yeah.
But I didn't know this conversation was going on at all.
Yeah.
2 days later, Bees called me and said, so and so's gonna give you a call. I was like, stop gassing, bro.
Yeah.
I think at this time, he was still out. Colin was still out in Turkey.
Yeah. Doing madness. Causing havoc.
And then, Colin's called me and said, bro, like, I'm having trouble at my... So he left, I think he left Galatasaray and was at another Turkish club, but he's having troubles. Locked him out the training ground, all sorts, mad thing. So he wasn't actually training. So he said... I want to come and do some bits. Obviously, you've been doing bits with my boy. I've seen you got him in good shape. Let's come and do some training.
Yeah.
So we worked. He come 5 days a week.
Wow.
We gymmed. We done
5 days a week straight away.
5 days a week immediately after the first session. So we done the first initial session. After the first session, he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming in tomorrow."
Yeah.
I'm coming in next day. And then we sat down and said, "Bro, okay, let's do a 5 day week.
Yeah.
Let's devise an actual program for you, and let's get you back, find you," because he knew he wanted to leave that club, but obviously we've got to put him in the shop window. He's got to be in shape.
He's got to be in shape, of course.
So we done 5 weeks, 5 days a week.
Flipping hell!
Wow!
And he got in some great shape.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "This is where the story gets even more interesting." So then he's gone, right, fuck it. Let's go LA. I'm taking you to LA.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
What's he going to LA for? So his pre-season, his personal pre-season.
So today he said, I want to go and do training.
Yeah.
I want to go on holiday.
But I'm going to take the missus. Everyone seems to be going to LA this year. But we're going to go have a little bit of holiday. But we're going to train.
Right, okay.
So I need to work.
So man flew me out.
Oh my God.
First class.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, this is mad.
This is what
how long were you out there?
I need to get to these
10 days.
That's sick.
I need to get to these footballers.
Pulled out. Yeah, then that was it.
That's
what
you're gonna think,
put
innit?
me up in the SLS hotel.
Oh my days.
Like 5-star.
Everything sorted, paid for.
G-Wagon. Like, this is mad. Yeah. Like, a few months ago, man never had a pot to piss in, bro. But now...
You're thinking, I hit the
I'm
belly.
thinking, this is it.
Through literally just approaching.
From approaching a group of guys I was never going to approach in the first place. That just changed my whole...
And that had nothing to do with what you actually...
No.
Want to do or want to train. If it was like a group of footballers, it might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But these are like MMA.
I watch MMA. I don't know about MMA.
Yeah, exactly.
But end of the day, my philosophy was always be an athlete first.
Yeah.
Even MMA, you guys need to be explosive, strong, fit, fast.
It says, it's across all sports.
It's across all sports.
So, question just on the MMA fighters: did you have to tailor your training a little bit and like do research?
Yeah, 100%. So any sport that I worked with, obviously done a bit of research of the specifics of that sport.
Right.
So the framework of the session is what I do in terms of your strength, your speed, your agility, your general fitness. But obviously we have to, even in some of the drills or maybe some of the warm-up stuff, have to be specific to what they do.
Of course.
So that comes in where, me being a student of my sport when I was competing comes into play with work. I'm a student of my work. Okay, I've got an MMA guy. We're not just going to do sprints and gym and plyometrics and fitness runs. I need to start looking about what it is they do and what it is he needs. So done that, and it worked out really well. And that's when I realized, fucker, you got a knack for this shit.
Yeah. So you go to LA, you're thinking, okay, cool. You come back now.
Bro, you skipped out a whole what happened in LA, bro.
No, wait, hold on, hold on. Listen, yeah.
I'll
tell you why I missed it out. No, I'll tell you why I skipped it. I was trying to save you. I know what happens in LA. So that's why I thought, you know what? Let me skip part. Listen, if you want to talk to us,
it's not even that.
I just thought, you know what? Let me save him. But if he wants to go back, listen, let's go.
Let's hit a bit of LA.
All right, go on.
So,
is your first time in LA?
No. So I spent a lot of time in America through training camps in track. So we would be in California, but not specifically LA. Like from where we'd be in Newport Beach, Orange County, you drive to LA to see the Hollywood Boulevard, but I'd never really stay in LA. Especially not fucking Beverly Hills.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? So out there, first day of training, we go running Canyon, we do some runs. And I think another reason why, especially Colin and these guys respected me so much, I'd just retired from track. I'm still fit, I'm still strong. So I'm not just giving you the session, I'm running the session, I'm doing the session with you.
And showing you.
So if we're in the gym, we're gymming together. If we're running together. And I'm kicking your ass in everything. Well, now I'm 37 now. These are young boys. I'm beating them up in the session.
Colin must have been in his prime, innit? Around that time,
And
so
that's
what's he
the
thinking
respect
at this
they
time?
have for me. No, he respects it because he said, you know, he pulled me aside one day and he goes, you know what? Fucking respect you, bro.
Yeah.
Because
fair play.
Some of the coaches I have, big fat man tell me, yo, and in your head you're thinking, you can't fucking do it.
Yeah, you don't know how hard this is.
And you're on to me, you can't do it. Where I'm telling him to do it and I'm running alongside him, I'm talking to him, come, let's
go.
Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It makes such a big difference.
It makes a huge difference.
When you can actually do it, and because like any athlete, any sports, when you're going through pain and someone's telling you what to do,
just want to tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. Even though you know it's for your benefit, but you're thinking, this is, sometimes when you run so hard, you actually feel so pain, you think, this ain't real. Like, this is, what you're telling me to do, it's not possible. Like, I'm in so much pain that you're just making it up now. I know you want to push me, but you're being silly now.
You woke up in a cold sweat and thought, that's a good session.
And
I'm going to make them do this.
And when you're running it and doing it, and I've had this feeling, I can't lie, and I'm like, now this guy's mugging me. This is not possible. You physically cannot do this as much as hard as I want to go. But when you're actually doing it with them and you're going through the pain together, you think, wait, this is possible because he's doing it.
There's no excuse for me not to be doing this because he's alongside me.
Yeah, and it makes a difference, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he respected me a lot for having that approach to training. So going back to after the first session, we've gone back to the hotel, and Ryan Bertrand's staying at the hotel.
Okay.
So obviously they know each other. They get talking to each other. And then Ryan's like, "Oh, what you guys do? You training out here?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you mind if I come and do some blitz tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." Colin introduced me. This is my trainer. We're chatting. So yeah, cool. Come, we'll do some work tomorrow. So the next day, went back to Running Canyon, had a running session, had an hour break. We found a gym that we used out there. We done gym in the afternoon. And that was predominantly how the next few days went.
Okay.
But we kept getting additions.
Okay, players.
So not even, the next addition's mad. So I like basketball. And
going to say something bonkers here. I'm going to drop the mic.
J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
What?
Cleveland Cavaliers, New York Knicks at the time.
Yeah. I know
he was there.
I went to uni in America.
That's mad.
And he's speaking with Colin. I think it's all mad. Like the link ups. When I start talking about the link ups, how everybody knows each other. And he's basically said, "Oh, you guys working out?" Like, yeah. I said, "Yeah, I'll come tomorrow." So another session, Running Canyon. He's come, so it's J.R. Smith, Colin Kazim, Ryan Bertrand, and Leon Best.
Okay, Leon Best.
So we're all running up and down Running Canyon. And like, I'm walking down after one of the runs and I'm like, yo, this is mad surreal right now. This is crazy.
It starts to hit you now,
what actually is fucking going on here?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But it was so good. We do sessions on Malibu Beach, Running Canyon, gym, and they're all training, they're all enjoying it.
Yeah, they're all giving it everything.
Like, don't get me wrong, they'll go out and party in the evening because they're on holiday. But 8 o'clock in the morning, they're at reception, ready to
go.
train.
That's sick.
And That's how it went.
That's mad.
Like for sports, and my brand, especially in a time I've just jumped on Instagram.
Yeah. You're at the start,
and I've documented everything.
That's what I was gonna say.
All the sessions, all the gym sessions. Man is saying, hold on a minute, is that J.R. Smith?
Yeah,
you're doing gym work with.
That's mad.
Like
it's the equivalent. For people who don't understand basketball, like I have to stress this. For people who don't understand basketball, that is like someone who plays for Barca or Real Madrid joining into your session.
Yeah, man.
Like them times there, he's like going to the NBA finals, like playing against Golden State and all these teams. Like he's at the pinnacle of basketball, and he's training with
just randomly as well.
Mad.
That's bonkers.
Telling man to come and watch his one-on-one basketball sessions he does with his coach. Yeah, come. I'm sitting down at the gym watching him doing his training.
Thinking, what is going on?
Do you know I'm just any guy from Leyton?
I'm here by chance.
I'm here by random chance.
That's mad.
So when this is happening, just obviously, because you said you kind of didn't really have a pot to piss in, you're kind of gambling on yourself at this point. Are you like just thinking, man, thank God, like this is amazing.
God, bro. From that, Ryan, we got home before we got home. Ryan's like, yeah, I want you to write me a program for like we were still at Chelsea at the time. I wanted to write me. I want to get a little bit quicker. I want to get a little bit stronger. I like your work. Can you write me a program? Cool. So wrote him a program.
Yeah.
But still out in LA, it just kept on getting even more surreal, bro.
Gone.
So one day after training, obviously we're at the SLS hotel, so Colin's got a little canopy on the rooftop. So we're just chilling. And then I've gone into our canopy, fucking Chris Brown just sitting down with his iPod. I'm like, what's going on here?
Chris Brown, see breezy.
So
nah.
He's actually on our canopy.
Yeah.
Karraeuche's with him.
My.
Fucking Tank, the R&B singer's there. James Harden's with us. J.R. Smith's with us. And I'm sitting there, you guys have no idea. I'm just any guy from Leyton. I'm not even meant to be here. I'm in the tent and Breezy's playing me songs. I go, yo, what do you think about this song? And in my head, I'm thinking, bro, what the fuck you asking me? Tell me, what do you think about this?
Bonkers.
Bro, bonkers. That same day, so then Breezy put up a picture. So we all took a picture. So it was James Harden, J.R. Smith, Colin, Wale the rapper, myself, Breezy, and he's put a picture and he stuck it in his Instagram and said family.
Oh my days.
My Instagram went from like 300 to 5,000 in like 2 days.
Oh my, that's bonkers.
And that was kind of the beginning of the snowball effect. When I got home, people wanting to work with me, didn't, and it just...
That's mad, isn't it? Just from one little holiday, and it's just gone back.
Another story, when we went out one night, and on the table, Christina Milian, Karraeuche, Chris Brown, flipping, and then there's some little kid up on the thing. He goes, "Oh, you got a light?" Sitting like, so I'm sitting on, on the, you got the booth, so you sit up on the top of the booth. I'm sitting up on the top of the booth, thinking, "Yo, this is mad, right?"
Yeah.
"Oh, you got a light?" I said, "Nah, bro, sir, I don't smoke." I looked at him and said, "I know this you. It's fucking WizKid, bro.
Nah.
Just sitting next to me, smoking a zoot."
Bro, what?
Man said, no, I would have been like, where's the lighter? Who's got...
Bro, it's mad. Absolutely
but
mad.
like, just obviously, it's the first time I'm meeting you, but I can just tell by your energy, like, you probably weren't, like, moving any different.
No,
You're like, this is mad in your head.
In my head, it's all this, what I'm saying is all going on in here.
Yeah,
I'm moving cool, like I'm supposed to be here. Do you understand? But in my head... If
they saw what's in your head, they'd
this
think
is
that.
crazy. If they saw what's going on in my head, they'd think, this guy's a fruit loop.
Yeah.
Trust me. So that was mad surreal. And that was the kind of beginning when I got back home of kind of being known as someone that trains certain people, and then it becomes a snowball effect, and I kind of never looked back after that. But that trip was kind of the beginning of everything. And obviously going back to Colin, so obviously we worked 5 weeks before we went to LA. We went to LA, worked great. So out of that 10 days, we had 2 days off. We worked, and they were double days. Some days, majority of them were double days. Some days were single days. So like running and gym. So when we've got back, Feyenoord have got in touch and said we're interested. But obviously we know in Turkey he was frozen out. He wasn't playing. So we're a bit skeptical about your fitness. I documented everything. So we put together a video of all the training in Lee Valley, of all the training running up Runyon Canyon, in the gym in LA, sent it to them, signed him 2-year contract.
Agent Mark Findlay, you know.
Agent Mark.
And that was it. And that was it for him. That was it. And, you know, that was 2014. And I've been working with Colin since.
Since then, yeah.
They got Colin, man. They got Colin.
That's
massive. Even just now,
Derby. He's doing a madness at Derby.
He left Mexico, obviously COVID, went crazy, come back home, no club. We worked out for 6 weeks. Same kind of thing, 5 days a week. He goes, yeah, you know what, like, I think I might go Derby. Went Derby, see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing a madness right now.
Yeah, man. He sending me messages like, bro, you don't understand what you are for me.
Yeah.
Like, we've actually become brothers now. Like,
yeah, of course.
We're not just, that's my family. That's like just my little bro.
That's mad,
like, we've been close ever since LA. But even to see him, and for me, it was satisfactory to see him come back here.
Yeah.
Because Colin's been a man.
He's been away.
Brazil, Corinthians, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Olympiacos, played in Mexico.
Played for his country as well.
Played for Turkey, Euros. He's been everywhere, but I've always wanted to train in him. I've always wanted him to come home and show, like, yo, man's a baller, bro.
Yeah.
And to see him doing what he's doing at Derby is,
it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's
amazing. It warms my heart, bro. Trust me.
So now you come back and you're getting all this footballers, would you say?
Yeah, a lot of footballers.
Mainly footballers. And then do you think, okay, this is like a space that no one's got? Because at the time that you jumped on it, there weren't... Footballers weren't seeing... Like, they were seeing... I don't know what the word is, maybe personal trainers or like individual coaches about their football, their technical stuff, but no one was actually seeing to train with an ex-athlete. You know what I mean?
It started becoming a trend then. But yeah, it was just trying to show these athletes, these footballers, that it's more than just football. Like, by you ticking boxes in terms of your fitness, your speed, your agility, your strength, your explosiveness, can change a game. Football's what you do. That's your God-given talent. But if you up the percentages in all of these,
you give yourself more of a chance.
Give yourself more
to
of a
become
chance.
Something. Yeah.
And then once that message got relayed out more and more, that's when more and more.
So would you say most of your clients now are mainly footballers?
I'd probably say 80% of my clientele is footballers.
Footballers.
Well, I've got a few boxers, a couple of MMA, couple that run track, couple rugby players, but predominantly 80% football. Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Can we do a little bit of a name drop? You know,
chuck a few names that you've worked at. Doesn't have to be footballers. It could be just people that you've.
So, I think probably two of the most. I think two of the most.
Careful what you say, Mark.
Hard-working in terms of their attitude, in terms of their athletic development, like the Chaloba brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nate and Trevor.
Yeah.
Mad. Trevor's probably one of the most naturalist footballing athletes I've ever come across.
What do you mean by footballing athlete?
Just
for those that don't know, like
his speed, his strength.
Yeah. And he's 6 foot.
He's tall. I think Trevor's like 6'2".
6'2". He's a big boy.
6'3". He's a big boy.
So to be
can run. Like, if you see him run,
he
looks like he runs track.
Oh wow.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
The way he covers ground, like, he's just got everything, and obviously a tremendous footballer.
Yeah, of course, both of them. Yeah.
And Nate.
What a guy Nate is as well.
He's doing madness.
His ability on the ball itself is just.
What I like with Nate. He's very much a student of his game, not just football. Nate, put a gym in his house. He does a lot of stuff away from the club to better himself. So, I mean, those two, amazing. Obviously, I've done a bit with Dylan White before this fight he just had. Obviously, Ryan Bertrand, done a bit with him, wrote him a couple programs. Who else? Colin, Leon Best. another guy from Watford actually, kind of unsung hero, but he's doing really well. The Watford right back, Adam Messina.
Okay, the foreign boy.
Yeah. Done quite a bit with him. Mm-hmm. He's doing really well. It's a few.
So how did these come about? Are these just sort of recommendations? So you've trained with one like footballer, for example, and then they just recommend
all my stuff nowadays just becomes word of mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way as well.
So
because you're not having to sell yourself. You're actually proven.
No.
When it comes through someone that's experienced it with you.
Yeah.
Like you coming to me, for instance, in terms of like, if I see your page and that, it's like you got to sell yourself to me.
Yeah.
But when I go, you know what? I've trained with him, Dom. I think you trained with him. It's a different kind of effect. It's a different kind of effect.
That's what it's becoming. I guess like if you're looking, I started. So this year is actually the 10th year anniversary of me starting what I've done.
Oh wow!
So it's 10 years of graph. So where now word of mouth is what it is.
Yeah.
Like my track record kind of speaks.
Of course, yeah. That's massive.
So
what's the next step in the journey? Or I wouldn't say not the word's not content, but are you in a good place right now where you feel like, you know what, if it carries on like this, I'm good. I ain't got no worries, no stress. I'm happy with how things are going.
Yeah, I'm happy how things are, but obviously want more, innit? So
what's more for you then in your
facility?
World? Yeah, okay, to build your own facility.
Working on that right now.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
That's the next one. So
and it's doable. It's doable.
100%.
It's 100% doable.
Like, everything that I do, I want it done under my own roof.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing running sessions at my place, doing gym sessions, I want it at my place.
And you know the stuff that you need. You ain't got you know what I mean?
That's the next step for me, and that's kind of what we're looking at now. I've got a few options and just making sure we pick the right one.
100%.
Have you ever thought about like having a team, or do you? I don't know.
So at the moment, I've got an assistant that works with me, which I'll be honest with you, it's taken years to find somebody that kind of you trust, and that's the hardest thing in this game: finding someone that you trust, and that you rate and do what you do. So this guy, actually Niall, he was an athlete, but I coached him.
Okay,
and he's been around me now probably 6 years.
Oh wow!
So his philosophy and how he approaches what he do is just an extension of me.
Oh, perfect.
So there's no one I would trust more. Like now, for instance, I do a lot of work with soccer agencies. They send players.
Yeah.
And I'll give him say, all right, there's 6 players from this agency. That's you. Go, you do that session for me. And
so my question is to you about Niall is, can he run? As in, can he compete with these? So you know how he used to run with Colin and beat his ass? Can he compete with these athletes if it came down to it to earning their trust? Because I'm guessing Niall hasn't had the career that you've had. So he's not. So like if you like sent me to Niall, obviously I'm going to respect him because you sent me to him. But if I know that he hasn't run for his country, he hasn't done nothing, the respect doesn't go any lower.
I know what you mean.
But then you got to earn.
You still breeze man out.
So he'll breeze out. That's fine. Just so, because you know what it's like, innit? Sometimes to earn people's respect,
100%.
you got to show them.
100%.
And it's like, for me, like, obviously I coach football or whatever, and I'm doing passing drills and stuff like that. And the kids are like, yeah, but you can't do it. Yeah. Okay. And then they quiet down. Even though it's like, I don't need to prove myself to you because you're just a kid.
But I will.
But you still, you still need to do it. So now I can do that.
Okay,
cool.
People he's come from my school.
Yeah. So he has to.
I wouldn't let him just be a coach that, will just talk it and can't back it. He can do everything he tells these guys to do. He can do.
So what does your own facility look like? Like, do you want a track or just a running area?
You know what it is? I want a gym, predominantly like a functional gym. So quite a reasonably big space. Kind of astro the whole of inside. A few platforms to lift. All the machinery and stuff that I need in there, and also I need a bit outside. So somewhere, if I say right, we got some runs to do, I've got a good amount of space for them to do runs as well. So gym work inside. If the weather's bad, we can do agility work and stuff inside as well. Weather's good, we can get out and run. And that for me, I get to do
whatever you want.
Everything that I do as a trainer. In your
own little space. Sick.
So one question I had is, how do you stay like, not relevant is not the word, but how do you stay on top of it? Because, you know, like, sports scientists constantly change. The way of training is constantly changing. So how do you stay on top of it? Are you reading books?
So like my thing is that I have my philosophy and my framework, which will always be what I am and what I kind of stick to. But like you said, you know, things change and things are always evolving. So as long as my framework stays the same, like I still study my sport. If there's something I think, you know what, that can work, I'll bring it in. Do you know what I mean? I'll never just be, this is me, this is how I change, because then what happens in a few years, you're a dinosaur, bro. Do you know what I mean? You've got to keep evolving and got to keep finding ways to improve athletes. And, you know, it's not always just about data and it's finding certain sessions or certain philosophies in the gym or certain running and fitness things that can continue to develop athletes and sports people at a high level. So I'm forever learning, man. You never knowledge is power.
Yeah, no, 100%,
never stop learning.
100%.
So obviously we touched on it at the beginning about you kind of being like a therapist and stuff. So do you have to work on changing people's mindsets and stuff? Because I'm sure
100%.
there's very talented people who come to you, but they just ain't got the mindset to be able to push through the sets.
Not every story is a success story.
Yeah.
In terms of the work we do, I've had some of the most talented guys, but their mindset is just, and straight away in my head is like, after a few weeks, this guy's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be because you're not talented enough. It's your mindset.
Your mindset is weak,
As much as we try and change it, it's just...
he's not buying into it or whatever reason it may be,
So we'll come and do the work, but...
It's not enough. Like you said,
you're not going to get everything out of it because, you know, you're at a certain age and you're out ramping and getting home at 6 and then trying to come and train with me. Like, and how much do you want this? How much do you want it?
And some athletes, and definitely like obviously kids that I coach as well, they don't understand that us standing on the other side, we can tell that you're not progressing. So we can see that I can run you into the ground or do as much technical drills. I know that when you go home, everything, you walk out that gate, you've thrown everything because now you start eating rubbish, you start doing mad stuff, you're staying up till late, you're on the computer screen, you're not studying, all these things. They don't realize that when they come back the next day,
man, see that.
We can tell.
Straight away.
And they don't understand that when we're telling them, you're not living right. They're like, but I am. No, like, it's not a conversation. I'm telling you a fact. And I don't get it, like, why they don't see how we see it.
I've had guys that are you know, they're talented, but not extremely talented. But we've worked on their mindset to where their mindset is the mindset of
an elite.
High elite. And it's changed their life.
And it's, that's all it takes sometimes.
That's all it takes sometimes. But then when you have someone who has that talent and then can adapt that mindset, bro, they're gone. They're gone.
So what difference do you see between people who don't have that mindset and do have to, like, what is the difference? They just have that inner drive. Like, what is it that kind of differentiates?
It could be small things, just like, you know, in a session, like they might be asking you a lot, you know. So if I, you know, simple stuff like, if I go home now, like, what do you think the best thing for me is to eat? Or just talk to me about, you know, how much sleep do you think I need?
Yeah.
Or they're very, very much obsessed.
They want to know more. They want to know what should I do.
Want to know more, and they're forever asking me questions like, how do I go about this? When you was competing, how was this? How did you find that? And then the guys who just would come, stroll up to the session,
just about get through it.
Everything's done at a lazy pace, and you're almost having to be on them. The guys that come and you haven't even got to be on them, and you can see it's 100% everything they're doing. They're the guys that, okay, this guy's
got a chance. He's going to give himself the best possible chance.
He's going to give himself the best. There's no point coming in and working at 80%.
No, 100%.
Like,
why? You're gone.
So just talking about like discipline and being consistent, they go hand in hand together.
Hand in hand.
How did you stay disciplined, like in your time when you was an athlete, and also has that affected you? Have you taken that with you to now, to your day-to-day life?
I mean, I think track and field especially is quite a lonely sport because it's you, and you might have a coach, a training group, whatever, but on that line, it's you. You, bruv, with the bubble guts. You fucking hell, I'll feel weak. I think I'm gonna piss myself. It's you. It's you. Do you know what I mean? It's no one else. So
how do you manage that then? Because everything's on you, really and true. You can have as many coaches, like you said, as many people. How do you manage that? And then also the discipline side of things. Like, how are you staying disciplined? Because you're lonely.
Do you know the funny thing is, one of my best seasons I had, I was self-coached.
Okay.
So I had no training group. I had no coach.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I'm training 6 days a week by myself.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean? So you want to put myself in my own little zone. I was sleeping right. I was eating right. Doing my research on nutrition and, doing crazy stuff. Like I'd have a watch that would alarm when it was time for me to eat. Things like that.
Yeah.
Getting into routines, going to bed at 11, waking up at 7 every day. So I'm having a good amount of sleep.
Yeah.
And just having the discipline and the focus to get up and do your training, knowing that, bro, if you don't go and train, it's on you,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So being in that world, it was easy for me to then, when I went into another training group, I already had that mentality.
Okay.
Like, so it's almost, I don't expect people I work with to be that, because football and track's different. Mm-hmm. But I try to bring them elements of having that kind of discipline.
How to manage yourself,
If you really want to get to the top of where you want to go, these are the certain things. You have to have them. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm. So do you kind of provide a service for like the 360 then, or is it just the training? So like, are you doing meal plans? Are you providing meal plans? Are you providing like, this is what time you should go to bed, this is what time you should wake up? How extensive does it get?
So in terms of all that, so obviously the training, and I give advice. So for instance, if I know somebody that really wants to go ham with the nutrition, I have a nutritionist that I work with. Go and see Will.
Okay.
Do you understand? Like, I have therapists and people that I work with. If you're feeling tired, or you want a therapist as part of your package, I have a therapist I work with. You're gonna go and see that person once, twice a week, on top of what you're doing with me.
So really, you've got like a mini team around you. You can push people to the right places and support them in different ways.
You need medical. I got a team for that. You need nutrition. I got a team for that. I got an assistant coach. So and that's why having my own facility would be great to then just.
Yeah, we're here. Together. This is the whole.
At the moment, it's like you have to go here, you need to go there.
Yeah.
But you still get it done. And if you're committed enough, you traveling to here or here and here is.
It doesn't matter. No, of course.
It's about getting that work done and getting what you need to succeed. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. So just before we wrap up, I think it's been an amazing conversation. But like, what's next for you for kind of the rest of the year?
Ideal. So
it's getting to the fun bit now, isn't it? When the weather gets better.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when obviously last year, every year I tend to have a pre-season camp that I do every year.
Okay.
Is that open to everyone, or?
So mainly it's mainly pros, scholars.
So elite players.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a camp that we do. We didn't do it last year, obviously. So it'd be great to have that.
Oh yeah, again. That'd be
We normally do that in June.
Okay.
Opus Performance. Shout out to all my Opus Performance players. They'll all be back in. I've had a lot of messages for them saying they can't wait to get back in, and I think that will be probably busier than it's ever been before.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously with what's gone on, and then from there, obviously the gyms are back open on the 12th.
Yeah, on the 12th. Yeah.
I'm actually doing something with Capital Extra.
Oh,
they're coming and doing their live shows from Lee Valley.
Yeah,
on the 12th,
decent.
So they're gonna come in, and I'm doing a bit with Manny Norte. So do a bit there. But just generally moving forward, it's just getting back into the routine of, it's not normal. It's never gonna be normal. But having the training centre back, having my gym back. Nice, and then from there we just, like you said, mainly working on that facility, getting that facility done, and try and grow again.
Can't wait for it, man. Can't wait for it.
I'm sure we'll talk more off camera, but I just want to say this on camera, that I think it's amazing for someone who's done what you've done and worked with the people that you've worked with to be so humble about it. Like, when people watch this, go back, guys. You're just like, I'm just a brother from Leyton. So for you to still have that mindset, be among all these elite people, like it's amazing. And I think that's kind of been a theme of the kind of people that I want to speak to.
Of course.
They're doing amazing things. They're smashing it in their industry. But they can still come, sit down, have a conversation. At the end of the day, we're all just human beings.
100%.
There's no hierarchy. This person's better than this person. We don't do any of that. So I just wanted to say that on camera and bring you up.
I appreciate that, bro.
Abs, you got anything?
I like how Abs like kind of skips his training sessions, like, cause you know this guy's doing work.
He's working.
He's working.
Okay,
I work in silence though. I work in silence, innit?
3 times a week. This guy's in, you know.
I work in silence.
Wait, actually, hold on. Let me talk about that for a second.
I work in silence, innit?
How's he getting on? Is he putting in the work?
He's putting in the work. I get it to him.
When I'm in. Mark knows me. When I'm in, I'm in. But I work in silence, and like you said, we don't like to big it up and show off. When it's time to work, you gotta get your head down and work. And just to like mention like what Dom was saying about having humble people on here, but also just like for the people around us, yourself, like you've grown up in a local area, do you know what I mean? You ain't 100. Been brought up in an amazing, you know, we've all had struggles through the ends, and to see where you've come from and to where you are now and experiences, like amazing. People sometimes use excuses. Oh yeah, but I come from here, and in the end it's a struggle. Every man in there, like there's a lot of people that use that excuse, and young kids now, or just even other older people use that excuse. But when I went to school, we didn't have the best education. Like, and it's important for people to see, like yourselves and others that we've had on, we've come from the ends,
100%.
And sometimes 100%. You got to know that it doesn't matter what's around you. You can get out if you want to get out and be successful.
Drive, bro. Yeah, you got to have the drive. Have the drive to do something. You do it, bro.
Exactly.
You've got to have that drive to do it.
So I think people need to get rid of that mindset of I come from the ends, you know, like, but it's hard. It's not my parents, my family. Everyone has struggles. It's how much you want to get out 100%. And you want to explore the world. Yeah. This it's just another reminder for Mark, really, to say that look, I've come from here. Yeah. Now look where I am. Doing okay.
Doing all right, man.
Yeah, doing all right.
We're grinding. We'll keep grinding.
But you know, like we do every week, if you've made it this far, appreciate for watching. You know, making sure that you're liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all those good things. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming down.
Love, boys. Appreciate it.
It's been an amazing conversation. Great conversation. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, bro.
That's been the Detailed on Matt podcast.
Peace.
See you guys again soon.
Nice. Love.
Wow.